Chop it up. We are live again. Once again, what you need, not what you need. Christ I am disciple in the building. I hope you guys are doing well. We're gonna chop it up. We're gonna chop it up. So we just finished watching the interview with Zack Snyder, and what came out of that, of course, was we got to see a clip of the mother boxes. We got to see uh, it was a lot of information. So we're going to unpack that and we're going to talk about it. Um, First big one, Justice League ends with a huge cliffhanger. A huge cliffhanger. So that's dope. We're going to talk about that. It definitely opens the door for a sequel, for a follow-up on Justice League. And Zack Snyder was clear in saying that you're talking about Justice League 2 and 3, and that what he covered was only for Justice League 1. All right, it was only for Justice League 1. And I uploaded the IGN little featurette with Zack Snyder sharing uh, sort of the history, the background of some of the characters that are in Justice League, and also also the mother boxes. I thought it was really intriguing. I actually tried to break down some of it, and I got some of it broken down so we could discuss a little bit about it. I also posted it up online for you guys' benefit. Hopefully, you guys can see it and didn't violate copyright to the extent where you can't see it. But as we're streaming away right here, right now, in which I have kind of a limited time because, again, once again, I have another meeting I have to attend after this, and it starts at 4. So I really have a very short space of time to communicate with you guys about this. But hopefully, you guys will see this stream as I prattle on. So Justice League ends on a cliffhanger, ladies and gentlemen. A cliffhanger. A cliffhanger. Ha! Now, of course, you hear Zack Snyder speaking about how the Justice League movie, he doesn't know what's happening after that. And of course, but interestingly enough, when Terri Schwartz was talking to him about, Ray Fisher's Cyborg and the fact that he doesn't seem as though he has anything in the Flash movie that's coming up. It was interesting to hear Zack kind of talk about how, there's always a possibility with Ray Fisher and things that might happen with him. Look, man, this is a highly anticipated movie. We've been promoting it, and I'm going to continue promoting it on different platforms that I have available to me. Um, and I guess almost all of you guys in the Snyder Cut universe should be promoting it or speaking about it. And don't stop speaking about it even after you have, even after you've you've got seen it. I don't think you guys should stop speaking about it. I think it's really an awesome movie. Obviously, there's certain elements out there that don't want that movie to succeed, but we're not really interested in that. We're just excited about it, and we just need to do all we can to make sure that it's a complete and utter success. So that's all I got to say about that. Um, but yeah, he spoke, about Ray Fisher, and he spoke about the fact that he is like the central, like everything in the movie kind of stems around him. So that's very interesting. When I was looking at, for example, the clip that you guys probably will be watching at for the entire rest of the week, I noticed that, of course, it starts off with Cyborg. There are 3 mother boxes, first of all. That's the first thing I noticed. There were 3 mother boxes, and we kind of were jumping between mother boxes at a certain point in time. And I'm not too sure because I wasn't really following it completely, but I don't know how many. I don't know if we covered all 3 mother boxes or what. But what was interesting was seeing the pieces of Batman's past. The Joe Chill and his mother's pearls, and we're seeing the old Wayne Manor. We saw, the city of Gotham, the bat symbol, how he became Batman, in other words, kind of moving around, piecing it together. Um, and I thought it was interesting history right there. Similarly with Superman. Interesting was Aquaman's history. Aquaman's history was pretty interesting as well. You know, and we saw the octopus. The octopus was playing a big role in Aquaman's history. And he moving to, him having to visit this place and go. So I don't know if that's exactly the hero's journey for each one of them that we're seeing. I have to still look at it in more detail. It was interesting about Wonder Woman was he seemed to have dialed back, even though we see Steve Trevor's watch and we see Ares' headpiece. I noticed that one of the general's headpieces looked like the scene from the Wonder Woman that he had in his Elseworld. So it's almost like he dialed back to the Elseworld Wonder Woman that he wanted to have. And he went from that one. So that history was pretty interesting. Found out different. Um, and then we saw, of course, uh, the Flash. And we saw his mother's grave, uh, Nora Allen. And we saw him examining things as a scientist under a microscope. And we see him and the lightning bolt that flashes through him. So it's very interesting just looking at some of those things. And it was interesting seeing at the foot of Batman was Justice. And then the pose that Batman had was pretty interesting. And Cyborg being sort of almost hung up on this machine thing was very interesting. And the tire of the car and his past history playing football. And we could see there's like an accident of some kind and the pieces all over the place. And then we see Cyborg, his pieces of his body being assembled. So I thought it was very interesting that piece in history of Cyborg as well. I gotta say, when it comes to the Justice League and all this conversation about it, I mean, Zack Snyder's Justice League is the thing, man. It's the lit thing. It's the thing that everybody's got to see. It's a must see TV. You know what I mean? And whether you like Zack Snyder's movies or not, I think it's something for everybody to see. It's a must see TV thing. So hopefully we could do our part to assist in promoting it. Oh, I am sorry, so sorry, people. I know that some of you guys might have wanted to join in as a guest, and I forgot to put the link. So I'm going to put the link in the comment section so you can join if you so wish. Hold on a second. Let me do this. There you go. Now putting it in because this is kind of impromptu. Don't forget to mute your mic as you enter. Also, don't forget to stay respectful. But yeah, I could talk about this whole thing for the entire evening. He spoke about um, the fact that the fans brought this so far. We were the people that brought this movie to where it's a movie that is to be seen now, and so we really do play a big role in how this works out. And of course, um, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, big thing that happened there. Lots of people contributions to listen to the fans ask the questions. Some of the questions were interesting, and some of them again were just I really wish they didn't ask, or somebody it was a better question. But she even asked a pretty interesting question to Zack Snyder as Terri Schwartz about concerning um, you know the conditions under which he got the cut. Because um, he ended up getting the cut of the movie, and I'm very hopeful. I'm very hopeful that Zack gets to work with Warner Media. I think Warner Media has given him the opportunity of a lifetime to get this movie off the road. And if it's extremely successful, if there's a lot of buzz behind it, I truly believe that they'll let him do another one. Um, but I don't know if it has to go through Warner Brothers Pictures, but I certainly hope that Jason Keeler and Warner Media would be able to push this through, because I seriously think this is going to be an epic, and I think uh, you know, if we can get more of this, because I just don't see. Warner Brothers Pictures has nothing that attracts me right now. Wonder Woman was just nothing like the first Wonder Woman movie. Um, and all the other movies were, I guess, okay. I don't know what you want to call them. It wasn't something that I particularly was interested in. Zack Snyder brought something totally different to the universe. It was interesting hearing Chris Colbert say that, actually. Stephen Colbert, sorry. He said pretty much the same things, words to that effect, that he found that the excitement that was in, you know, Zack's DCEU is gone with Warner Brothers. Like, yeah, and even the CW like doesn't appeal to me. Like, people talk about Superman and Lewis, and it's like, I don't give a damn about Superman and Lewis. You guys can go ahead and watch that. I don't care about that. Like, my focus is on the Snyder Cut, and those movies were never made for me. That didn't attract me to comic book movies. Yes, X-Men at one point in time attracted me to comic book movies, and sort of enjoyed it. The Matrix attracted me, but I wasn't really like a real comic book movie junkie like these guys are. Like, the MCU, nothing in it attracts my attention. Just nothing. Joker definitely was a film that I enjoyed immensely. And it's not that I just enjoy serious movies. It's You have to be authentic as a director. What I mean by that is the character has to feel organic for me. If it feels pretentious in any way, if it feels like you're manufacturing a character, I don't give a damn about it. The first Iron Man movie was very interesting, right? Every single Iron Man movie after that was not interesting to me. Okay. Um, the first Captain America was great, you know, because you could feel the authenticity in what the actor was doing. And that's what's lacking today in these movies by committee. They have a formula for how they do their movies. And I'm not interested in formulas. I'm not interested in bullshit, you know. Um, and I just feel like this is just a feeling. I have no verification for it, but I just feel like there are Marvel shills inside of DC who are doing Marvel's bidding. Like, they're trying to crash Warner Brothers, not DC, sorry, Warner Brothers. It looks like they're trying to destroy Warner Brothers so that Disney can buy it out or something. I don't know. But clearly, they're not doing anybody any service in Warner Brothers. The executives, I don't know what the hell they're doing. I really don't. Um, uh, you know, you think about what Zack Snyder was going to bring to the table. You think what David Ayer was going to bring to the table. And fans are like, oh my gosh, really? Like, really? Because all the fun things that comic book fans like and enjoy, these people just take that stuff out. Like, they take the joy out of the comic book movie. And like, they have their ideas that have nothing to do with the fan base. Okay, they're detractors. Okay, they're detractors who speak about ill about um, DC and stuff like that. And I don't really care about them, right? I'm a fan. I knew why I liked the DCU. I knew why I got back interested in Superman. Okay, and for some reason, DC listens to loudmouths who do not have DC's best interests at heart. A lot of these people who talk about, they want DC to retcon, they want DC to go back in time, and it's never worked. The formula never works for movies. Okay, all these people bitching and complaining, the formula never worked. It never worked for Brandon Roth. Okay, it never worked for Christopher Reeve with the sequel, and then the third and the fourth movie bombed, and it's not going to work today. It's dated. Like, they're trying to go back in time to dated things. And the person who's advising them and the brainchild behind all this nonsense is Jeff Johns. There was a time I thought Jeff Johns was back in Zack Snyder. No. All this negative press and this negative media that's happening with Zack, and even now, the stuff that's attacking Zack, is still Jeff Johns in the background trying to do something. Jeff Johns. He has never been good for DC. He has never been good for Warner Bros. He writes good comic books, but he doesn't know shit about movies. And he does not know the movie making process, and he can't do it. And if you look at all his stuff is mediocre when it comes to live action and film. Okay? Nobody's taking on his Titans. Nobody cares about his Titans. Nobody cares about anything that Jeff Johns has his hands in. I haven't even watched Krypton. And Krypton, after the first season, I was done. Because what? He messed up General Zod as far as I'm concerned. His hands was too much in Krypton. Okay? And Krypton was an excellent series. But you could feel Jeff Johns' hands in there. And with his corny ass lines and his weird, like, characters. Okay? I don't understand. Comic book movies don't have to have humor all the time. Comic book movies don't need to be funny. Blade, A Matrix, Glass, Unbreakable, Split. Comic book movies don't have to be funny. There's room for them. You want to do your funny shit, you do it with the CW. You have fucking Titans. You have your damn stupid stuff that's going on HBO Max. You have enough of that shit. Let the people who want to see interesting, serious film, let them see it. But he tries to sabotage Zack Snyder. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really enjoys your stuff, Jeff Johns. Not me, and not a lot of people like me. We don't like your stuff. So please go away. So love to see the Snyderverse in operation. So hence we're going to try and push for this movie to do as well as possible so we can restore the Snyderverse on HBO Max. On HBO Max. Maybe it'll have to be a series, whatever. Well, we start off with the Air Cut. That's the next thing. And another thing is we need to get a sequel to Alita Battle Angel. That was good. Love to see a sequel. It didn't do too well in the box office, but you want to see a sequel. It's great. And, you know, here I am talking for about 18 minutes. I'm past my deadline. I have to get out of here. But what I would say to you guys is that, you know, this is the kind of stuff that we want to see. Zack Snyder talking about how, you know, how probable, how much of the nightmare scene is in this Justice League movie. And he said it was not a whole lot, but you know, it's there. So we got a lot of interesting information about different parts of Justice League. You know, Harry Lawrence showing up on there was pretty funny. And, you know, talking about how Martian Manhunter, how his role was played in Justice League was also very interesting. How even in Man of Steel and in BVS, he's trying to more be an observer and stay undercover than he was, and kind of assist and guide mankind into the direction he needed to go. And it was funny seeing Harry Lennox show up on there. And it's interesting the question that young lady from What's Up, Atlas 32. If you want to, you can hop on here. You don't have to show your face if you want to, and we can talk. At least people can hear your voice, bro. You know, it was interesting hearing the young lady who was from Ecuador, and she was asking the question about, are there other female characters of the Justice League, or female characters, period, that might show up in the movie? And it was funny, Zack saying, I'm not going to say whether there is or isn't, but the way how he first started it off as a premise sounded like there was somebody probably in there. But of course, being a 4 hour cut, we don't expect action, 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 action. We expected, to build the background for the characters and to find out more about these characters as they go along. But what's exciting, and guys, I'm here for a minute. I'm here for a quick minute. Shout out to Atlas 32.
Hey man,
Atlas
what's up?
22 in the building. I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
Man, I'm great, man. Just got out of a yoga class, so I saw you streaming, so I'm like, well, man, let me listen to my boy Christian. So what's up, man?
All right.
How
All right. All right.
I didn't see the interview with IGN. I heard about it
Oh,
earlier
you
today.
didn't?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I just
So
like I said, I just got
the
out of class, so I'm
no
listening
problem.
to you.
The link is down in the description. So
Okay.
you could always go straight to it, straight to the IGN. It's streaming something else right now, but you can just roll back the streaming to, I guess, an hour or so in, and you'll see, or 2 hours in, and you'll see the interview. So it's all there. Basically, Terri Schwartz, she interviewed Zack Snyder, and the fans had a couple questions for him, and then he answered those questions, and then he played a clip. So there is a clip also that you have to see, man.
Okay. I just saw that and the origin of the mother boxes
It wasn't the origin of the mother boxes. It was like a history. It was like a history lesson of each
of
Justice
each
League
character.
member.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's kind of like artistically put into the mother boxes, kind of like that. So it's kind of
Like
sculpted
information,
around the
pretty
mother
much.
box.
Like information.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no,
It's
man, I'm
real cool, man.
excited. I'm excited for Zack Snyder's Justice League, man. I am, like I said, I was disappointed with the theatrical
Theatrical.
release.
Yeah,
Oh man,
yeah.
dude,
You know what's the interesting thing with me? When I saw it, I was defending it and everything because I was like, man, people trying to sink DC. You know what I'm saying? So I was defending DC, and because we hear all these rumors around it, and I was
yes,
like,
sir.
I'm a trust in Warner Brothers this time.
You and me
We're gonna
both. We
go all
like,
the way.
man, like, cause like I have nothing against Marvel, cause I was a Marvel person growing up as a
Right.
teenager, as a kid. Marvel was my, Wolverine was my guy. But
X-Men. Okay. Cool.
as I, as I got older, my thinking changed, and I wanted
Right.
something more. So
Right.
I came across the Darkest Night graphic novel, and that opened a
Nice.
whole new world for me. And I'm just like, yo, like the stories of and to me, DC has always been um, that place where you take these unrealistic characters and you
Right.
put a realistic spin on it. I think
Right.
that's
Exactly.
why Zack Snyder's because I'm not gonna lie, I did not like Man of Steel the first two showings that I watched it.
For real?
Bro,
Wow.
hold on, don't crucify
Huh?
me. Hold on.
No, 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 no. I'm just
I
I'm just
did no,
curious.
no, 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 and you can because I didn't like it because I'm like, man, because I was in the mindset of everybody. Oh, because I'm only 35, so Christopher
Right.
Reeves Superman it predated me, and
Right.
the Brandon Ralph, I was like, oh, I didn't, I man, I'm like, I've never seen a movie with most OP character in history besides Goku,
Right.
and he didn't throw a single punch.
Right.
And that was to me was like, man, I felt let down. So when I saw Man of Steel, it was like, man, this is an action movie. This is Dragon Ball Z in person. This is what we dreamed of as fans. And then
Right.
I was like, um, it took me a while because I'm not naturally a Superman fan. I'm a Batman fan.
I
Like
would.
I am.
Okay.
Go ahead, go ahead.
What I was gonna say is, so I was around for the Christopher Reeve movies, right?
Hmm.
Because I'm pretty old. But the thing about it is, I liked it as a child, but I
Yes.
outgrew it.
Okay. Yeah,
And
I
it
can see that.
and the other thing that happened was comic book movies. Besides, I mean, Spider-Man brought me back to comic book movies, right? I
Yeah.
used to read
Yeah.
comics when I was a kid and all that, and then I kind of outgrew that too. And then Spider-Man brought me back to Sam Raimi Spider-Man brought
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
back to
Yeah. The first
because
two
it
was
was
my
such a
jam.
tragic, yeah, the
Yeah.
tragic story. The
Hmm.
tragedy just I was roped in. So and then I stopped watching comic book movies. Then Blade came out, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
I'm back. Yeah.
Sorry about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I'm back. I'm back.
I
Yeah.
was pumped.
Yeah.
Shit, right? That was rated R, so that
Yeah.
was dope.
Yeah.
And of course, Batman 1989. I died to see that as a kid because I was almost on the verge of being a teenager when I saw Batman 1989, and the brutality of it was nice. So I was like, damn,
Okay.
because
Okay.
I only read The Dark Knight Returns after The Dark Knight came out before, but I actually read it after Batman 1989.
Okay.
So and that brutality, I was like, yeah. And I remember watching Dick Tracy. That's another
Wow.
movie that
Yeah.
actually
Uh,
Disney put out. Dick Tracy. I don't know if you ever seen it,
yes,
but
I've seen that Dick Tracy. Yeah, with the claymation face and the yellow suit. Man,
yeah,
I
yeah.
so yeah, Dick Tracy. Another one of my favorite is Shadow, and I love V for Vendetta. I like that.
Shadow.
This yeah, with
Yeah,
Alec Baldwin. Yeah, no. So no, keep
yeah.
going, keep going. Yeah. So '89
So
Batman. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah.
'89
So I
Batman.
was just saying. I was saying. I understand a lot of people liking Batman, right? Because I was there when they started the Batman animated series in the '90s,
Hmm.
right? That kind of
Yeah.
came off of the Tim Burton Batman. So that
Hmm.
series came off of that, inspired off of that. Crazy. I loved it. But what I was gonna say is movies like Unbreakable, uh, movies like Unbreakable, X Men, Bryan Singer's X Men was revolutionary.
Yes.
Uh, movies like uh, well this other superhero movie, I just can't remember the name right now. It was a black and white kind of comic kind of superhero movie. It was in between reality and comic with Bruce
Oh.
Willis and they
Oh, you.
Sin City, Sin City, Sin
Yeah,
City,
yeah.
Sin
Okay,
City.
okay, yeah.
Crazy.
I was just about to
Know what I'm
say, you
saying?
beat me to it. You beat me to it. All right, all right.
Yeah, so those kinds of that's the kind of thing that I like with comic book movies. I don't just want to see I I actually kind of sometimes resent a comic book movie that just has laughs and jokes in it. If you're going to call it a comic book movie, call it a comedy or something so I could just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
cuz I don't really
Action
like
comedy.
yeah, do an action
Action
comedy.
comedy.
I have no problem with
Yeah,
that. Yeah, I
yeah,
have no problem with
yeah,
that. But
yeah,
to tell me that that's an adventure comic book movie, I mean, there's always a time where I would like Indiana Jones, that kind of stuff. I'm
yeah,
ready for that. But I'm just saying that sometimes that just saturating the market with this formula where there's this laughs and jokes, in the middle of a serious moment, you try to take away the responsibility of the person who is the main character by making a
yeah.
joke so that they don't have to be accountable for shit or whatever. I
Yeah,
don't like
yeah,
that. So
and yeah. Go ahead.
the first Iron Man was dope as hell.
Yep.
I
Me and
love it.
you. All right. Me and you on the same page. All right. Keep going. Keep
That's
going.
my that's a boss film, but I don't know what
Yeah.
happened after that. I think Paramount wasn't in charge of Iron Man or whatever, and went downhill. The first Captain America was the best I've ever seen. That's my best Captain America film. Everybody else like to talk about other things, but that was best. It was pure. It reminded me of Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman movie. It was
There
very
you go.
pure.
Okay. Yeah. Like I said, I think
So
me and you on the same page. That's why I like your videos. Because I
yeah,
have
yeah,
when it comes to me, when it comes to superhero movies, when it comes to superhero movies, and people have different opinions,
right,
free will that God have given us, and thought process come with that. Um,
absolutely,
my thing about a comic book movie is not so much of the accuracy, but I do like. All right, what is a comic book character? A comic book character is a fantasy character
Right.
based in around um, a world that has rules but no
Right.
boundaries. That's what a
Right.
comic book character and a comic book character is. It's based in a place that has rules but no boundaries, making stories
Absolutely.
endless. You see what I'm saying? So you can do
Oh, yeah,
whatever you
absolutely.
want. So I don't
Right.
blame directors when they come out with their own version of a character and it don't
Right.
stick. I don't hate
Right.
them for that. My thing is, I don't like when people. It's easy for us to sit on the outside of a building and say, "Well, I don't like how they put the bricks in. The bricks are crooked, or whatever." You see what I'm
Right.
saying? When you don't
Right.
understand what this man went through or what he did in his vision of this film. The
Right.
reason the reason about movies that we like is because it takes us out of our regular day schedule and it put us in a fantasy for a second or two, an hour or two, depending on how long the movies are. Right?
Hmm.
That's why we watch movies to get out of the
Well,
norm.
well, well. I just want to say, some people do it for escapism.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily do it for escapism. Again, because I come from what should I say, a Christian background, and also
yeah,
because I'm like kind of like some of the actors in Hollywood. I don't really like when you say make believe and dress up in spandex and that kind of stuff.
yeah,
It's just not my thing anymore. So I'm kind of past that. So for me, it's now okay. What is the value in this movie? Back in the day, movies always made some kind of point. I know it doesn't sound
yeah.
real, but back
No,
in the
but it did.
day, when you left the movie, you wasn't the same person you came in seeing the movie as.
Yeah,
Like you left the movie with something extra, and you were like thinking about it. And
yeah,
uh, I don't get that from the modern comic book movies today. Are you getting some kind of, I don't know what you getting. You getting like non-nutritional candy,
yeah.
like
No,
you know,
yeah. You're right. Um, but that's one thing I like about Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder makes you question your beliefs when you go in to
right?
watch one of his movies. And that's why I
Yeah,
love him as a film director because he's like, I'm gonna take these characters that y'all love. And to me, the reason why I think to me one of the best trilogies, in my opinion, would always be Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and Justice League, is because, like I said, at first I didn't like Superman, but then I went
right,
back and I watched it and I watched
right.
it. I probably watched that movie about 30 to 50 times since it came out. I have it on Blu-ray, right? And I love the
That's
movie.
one of my favorite movies.
Dude, yeah, yeah. Because if you go and you look at it, I'm like, people like, oh, I didn't like it because he was all mopey. I'm like, no, he wasn't mopey.
No,
You you look at me and tell me you have not been like that man was in that movie some part in time in your life when you just the things around
absolutely.
you that it wasn't adding up. Or you wasn't sure, or you didn't know exactly what to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Right,
all this all you doing is taking a man who is a god being raised as a human, wanting to be human because all he wants to do is fit in.
correct.
You see what I'm saying?
That's all.
And you,
That was
and
all. That was all he wanted to do.
exactly. And people don't want people like, oh, but he's Superman. It's like you have to understand this Man of Steel is not a Superman movie. It's a coming of him realizing who he is and what he wants to do and taking that first step. That's what Man of Steel is. That's why I love that movie because it's Superman. It's not Superman. People are like, oh, that's not
No,
my Superman because it's not Superman. It's the Man of Steel. It's the man realizing that he is
it's the
invulnerable.
irony. Yeah, it's the irony of ironies. It's about a man who's not
Exactly.
really a man, but he
Exactly.
is a man. So
Exactly.
the focus of the story is not about the steel part.
No,
Zach
it's
focused
about
on the
it,
humanity of
it,
Superman.
and that's one thing that
Yeah,
that's one thing that's to me that's his true kryptonite. That to me that is his true kryptonite. That's why somebody like Batman can beat him because Batman will play on that. You see what I'm saying? He will play on his
right,
humanity. Not saying Batman doesn't
right,
have humanity, but Batman tip. tiptoes on the line. That's like, maybe I do, maybe I don't. Depends on the
But
day.
you know what's so cool about talking about that Superman and why it's better than Christopher Reeve's Superman? Christopher Reeve's Superman is a fully formed Superman who gives us hope, and he's
Yes,
idealistic. He's perfect in everything,
yes,
right?
yes.
But here's the thing: this Superman that we got with Henry Cavill is sincerely a good person. In
Exactly,
other words,
and it shows you throughout the
in
whole
a
movie.
narcissistic world where people don't believe in idealism, people always feel, oh, there's nobody could be that kind or that good or that. Well, he shows you the strength in our world. If we are to apply that to our lives, right? This is something to aspire towards, to be a good
Exactly.
person and through, like
Yeah,
honestly, to be honest with somebody and straight up with people. And that's what that Superman and Man of Steel is perfect at.
yeah.
He
No,
embodies
and
that.
yeah, and that's why to me that man. You know how they say some things come out before their time. That movie
Right.
came out
Yeah.
before its time. The Man of Steel
Oh,
came out
it
way.
came right on time for me though, because
Oh,
I
okay.
was a Christian in my life where I was confused as to what I was supposed to do. And then I saw this movie, I was like, another Superman movie. And then when I saw the
No.
next trailer where he said this I'll never forget it. It's very important line. It's a very powerful line. When Lois Lane looked at him face to face and she said, "What does the S stand for?" And he said,
It's not
"It's
an S.
not an S. On my planet, it means hope." I was like, "What?" I was just strolling around looking on online because I was about to go out and do some help some people, and I said, "What?" I double took that. I ran the trailer back, and I was like, "He's making fun of her. What is this?" Or something.
No,
I was like,
no.
"That got me. That one line." And since then, everybody's been using that hope thing now. They've been using it very
Yeah,
often in all the other
yeah,
iterations of Superman. But
yeah,
that line is what roped me in. And I watched that movie in cinema 6 times. I couldn't get over it. I watched it
yeah,
in IMAX. I watched it I watched it 6 times. I was a Christian. I wasn't watching movies at that time. I wasn't watching movies. I wasn't interested in movies. And that one movie changed everything for me. And that story about how he was raised as a child, the difficulties he went through to adjust to our world, to adjust
yeah,
to the people in our world because of his potential, because of his power. People were
yeah.
afraid of him. You
And
know,
and and
and that story is so true for
yeah,
me in my life. I've had that experience where the potential is so great that people get intimidated by you. I got kicked out of a boxing group just for telling the truth. I never said nothing else. And people get intimidated by somebody who has that potential to do something that's so powerful.
yeah,
And that's
no,
what's
it's
happening with Zack as well.
yeah,
That's the
no,
victim to that.
yeah, but see, and this is why I like because I too am a Christian. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
I am growing up. I've heard the word, didn't know what it truly meant until I was in my teenage years, later to my teenage years. You know, when I started
Right.
reading and started getting with people who were Christians and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to make this like a Christian stream or whatever. I'm just
It's
saying,
all right. It's cool.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
don't apologize. If you
Well,
Christian, you Christian.
yeah, no, and I am. And once I got my Bible and I started living in the outside world, um I started seeing things and I started understanding the Bible more because you
There you
can
go.
read something, but when it's not in
Correct.
context, it means nothing to you until you apply
Right.
it. You see what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
That to understand.
Incoming call. Press the pickup button to end call reach.
That's when you start to
That's cool.
understand, um, how to apply it and how it applies to you.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
like I said,
But
that was
it's a
17
spooky
years ago when I
thing.
first started understanding things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm 35 now. But the
Mm.
things that I've learned just from like living and with eyes open and ears open to actually see,
Exactly.
um, you know, how corrupt we are as humans, then you can
Hmm.
understand why to me, Old Testament makes so much sense because I actually work for a church, a big church. You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So I can see how I understand why Moses would be so mad at the Israelites when they were complaining day and night. When I remember when I read and he asked God to walk in front of them to
Right.
proclaim that we are his people. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, man, it's like, and here you have Superman that's not of this world, but he's fighting tooth and nail just to live here, not to even, he didn't want nothing special, but just to be recognized. That's it.
Yeah. That's
I'm
how
just
it
here.
goes, bro. It's like it's like Moses' story all over again. It's like Jesus' story all over again. It's like Jeremiah's story all over again. You know, when you're and that's the thing about Zack Snyder's hero's journey. It applies to every situation because when you try to lead from in front, that's when most of the problems come. That's where most of
Yeah,
the problems come. You know, heavy is the
yeah.
head that wears the crown. Picochet says, "I'm forced to sit this one out. Unfortunately, a friend came over and I need to play host." Hey, it's cool, man. Picochet. I get people from all walks of life up in here. I'm a Christian. I tell them I'm a Christian. I'm a Christ
Yeah,
and
no,
disciple.
well,
I never apologize for it. I
no,
mean,
no, no.
but I am
Yeah, no,
always
you
open
shouldn't.
to. I'm open to different people's takes on
Walks of
things
life.
because
Yeah,
that's life. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's life.
And we all
And
have one.
and what's most important is the action, is what you do with your life, and not so much what you say. So at the end of the day, you know, I just appreciate you coming through, bro. Uh, and also, you know, your take on Superman. That, you know, in Man of Steel, you at first you didn't understand necessarily, yeah, and empathize with the story because he was like, "What's that?" And then you thought it was just an action flick, and then you realize, yo, this is deeper than, you know. It
Yeah,
looked
no,
in
it
the
is.
surface. And you
But
know
yeah,
what's so
man,
cool?
huh?
After we watch the Snyder cut, we can go back and watch Man of Steel and see it for something else because it's gonna
Oh
look
yeah,
totally
no,
different.
because it's supposed to be Zack Snyder's vision was going to come full circle. It was to show you
Okay.
the journey of a man,
Hero's
not a
journey, yeah,
guy. It was going to show you the journey of the man. And then
that's
the
right.
reason why I love Batman versus Superman, and it is my Batman versus Superman is my
Favorite?
first favorite. It's my favorite movie of all times because the
Okay,
complexity of it. Because it shows you a Batman that's been doing what he's been doing for 20 years, and
right,
we've never seen a Batman that's been so beaten and battered mentally and emotionally to where he's just a soldier,
right,
right? And that's what it
right,
is. And people are like, oh, he's killing. Y'all not understanding the complexity of Batman versus Superman is immense. If you just if you read in between the lines and you see what Batman is, that's not Batman. That's not. That's why when Superman went to talk to him, he said Bruce. He didn't say Batman. He said
right.
Bruce. He tried to.
Yeah.
He tried to have a
Speak to
conversation
his
with the
humanity.
humanity side. Yeah. He said, Bruce,
Yeah.
Bruce, I need your help. He's going to kill her. And he was like, oh yeah, oh yeah. And all he saw was legacy, legacy. And that's what we as
Right,
humans try to do. We try to leave something behind so people can remember us by,
right,
and
right, right.
ignoring what's in front of us. Like, don't worry about that. Worry about right now, today. And
Correct,
that's why I
correct.
love Batman vs Superman. Like, my favorite scene is the Martha scene. And I know people is
Mine too.
controversial, and
No,
like,
that's my favorite scene. So don't worry. Same here.
because it the
Best scene
shock
in the
on
world.
his face that somebody said her name and drug him out that dark black pit that he was in. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? He was like, wait, what? Like,
right.
how you know? First of all, how do you know this name?
Mm,
And how can you save her is what went through his mind. And he like, wait, I can save her?
mm. Because that he
And
used to
that
go to a grave religiously. He used to go to
every
that grave
day.
religiously to remind him of what his
Yeah,
purpose was.
yeah,
You know, so that was very, very important to him.
yeah. And that's why they showed that scene of, he said, this is gonna be my legacy. My family was
Yeah,
hunters. So
right.
Yeah. So I mean that, and people like, did we just become best friends? Man, I hate that meme so bad, man. I ain't gonna lie. Did we
No, but
just
it's a
become
stupid
best
meme.
friends? Yep. I'm like, come on.
It's a stupid meme that I think again. I don't want to go into this too much, but
Yeah,
I've realized that this undermining of Zack Snyder didn't come from outside of Warner Brothers.
it
It
came
was happening
within.
inside of Warner Brothers.
Yeah, yeah.
So
No,
that's
they
why that meme was allowed
yeah,
to be what it was. I thought it
no, I
was
mean,
the MCU fans doing that,
no,
but they wasn't the ones doing
no.
it.
It was. It's sometimes, um, you know, Warner Brother has done a lot of things, and sabotage is first on their list. You
Man,
know what I'm
that's
saying?
tough though.
Th-
That's sad.
Yeah, it is.
That's
I
sad.
pay you. I'm hiring you to do what you do best. And then I come in and be like, nah, we change our mind. We gonna interfere with this and this, and we gonna change this and this and this and this.
Uh,
You see what I'm
man.
saying? So,
They wouldn't
but
do
all
that to
right, man.
Christopher. Well, they tried to do that to Christopher Nolan too, like, but he
Yeah,
didn't have
yeah.
it.
I bet they did. I bet they did. It's like, but this is my thing. Um, Knowing that y'all own these properties and these characters, why don't y'all make this stuff yourself and why hire directors if y'all gonna take that approach with it?
Exactly, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Well, they're hiring directors they want to hire now. You know what I'm saying? And but it doesn't interest me too much, so I wouldn't be. But I would say this though, I really appreciate you coming through, and also uh, I want to bless you and wish you the best. And I hope that you can also spread this trailer of Zack Snyder's Justice League. You
Oh
know, because
man, I've
I
been
think
I've
that
been
this
telling
thing,
everybody.
I mean, spread it. Like, take the trailer and put it for people to
Eh,
see that
Yeah,
are acquainted with you, so that they can see it. Because I think that'll change a lot of people's minds, or they'll say, "What is this?" You know what I mean?
it's a
So,
true Justice League. This is, and I'm telling you honestly, man. Like I said, I will. I mean, the first Avengers was good. The second Avengers,
right,
yeah. The third and fourth Avengers, I could care less. It ended the story for me. And okay, I see what they was going for. A lot of fanfare, this and this and that.
right,
Justice League is so iconic, just like the animated series was. It was something about these godlike beings coming together, wiping the floor with
right,
whoever they fight. And to me,
right.
yeah, I don't know, man. It's amazing. I've been waiting on this
I
movie.
think the way how Zach does it is what gets us all roped in, and then he has his unique way with the fans, how he
Yeah,
teases things, and he
because he
engages with the
understand.
fans.
Yeah,
You know,
because
it's really great.
he understand what being famous really means. He
Right,
understands I'm not who I am if it wasn't for y'all people coming and showing up and showing the world, you know, that you like my art.
right,
You
right.
see what I'm saying? And
Exactly.
that's all it is at the end of the day is art. And it's gonna be subjective. Some people's gonna like it and some people ain't gonna like it. And man, you don't understand. I unfollowed a lot of people on YouTube
Right, right,
unsubscribe because of their narrow-minded ness of
right,
another man's art. Like you don't gotta like it,
right.
but you ain't gotta bash it.
That's the thing. See, I actually saw vitriol and hate for the director, and I was saying, "Where's this coming from?" And I now know where it comes from, but nonetheless, you know,
It doesn't make it
it's
right.
one of those things. No, it doesn't make it right, obviously. But some
And
people were paid to do that. They were
yeah,
paid
no,
to
no, I
say that
know. And
about
I
stuff.
and
Yeah,
and we can throw a penny up in the air and guess who it was. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Because we all know there was a company that didn't want this to come to they didn't want it to see light. They didn't want to see
No,
it the
no,
day of light. They
no. Yeah.
but then at the end of the day, y'all didn't want to claim the message y'all released in theaters. So make your mind up.
Exactly. You know, and that's the thing that I'm trying to explain to people. I'm saying, hey, that Superman that you're talking about, that you love so much, why didn't you support him when he was out in 2017? Why did you let Brandon Ruth's Superman rot in hell? That Superman should have continued on as well. So all this
Yeah,
talk about, oh, we want this Superman. Well, if you wanted him, he'd be around. You don't want him. So
exactly.
what really do you want?
They don't, and
You know?
and I'll say this, and I gotta go. I'll say this before I
Yeah.
go, and hopefully me and you can connect again because I really appreciate this. This is my first time
Oh
even
yeah,
talking to
awesome.
anybody on YouTube because I don't.
Oh, it's great then. It's great.
Yeah, no. Like I said, I've been following you for a minute. I just, I go watch my videos and I get off or whatever. I don't really interact with people because I understand, it is a business, it's a brand, and this and this. And I'm a hardcore Christian, bro. It's my way
Well,
of life. Is
this is my way of making some money.
Yeah,
And
no,
I
no,
was
no,
that's
no,
the
no. I
question.
understand
One of
that.
the things with me as a Christian was I didn't want to market the word and make money off the word. I had a lot of questions about how to proceed forward. And then I found out, listen, dude, once you're making an honest buck and you're not trying to breed the word to exploit people. And
Yeah,
I found out a way to do it is donation. So if people decide to donate to this, I mean, it is a ministry I'm trying to do. I mean, I still curse and swear sometimes, and that's not cool. But it is a ministry I am doing. It's service
yeah.
I'm doing, and I'm always about Jesus, bro. Always, like
Always,
can't
all
help it.
day and every day. And
All day.
like
But
I said, I'll say this.
I just try to be with everybody, talk to everybody. I understand now Jesus in a whole different kind of way than I used to. So it's
Yeah,
really awesome in that respect. And just showing love to people is showing them Jesus. I didn't realize that. And
yeah. No,
so
no, no.
like
It is. I mean, because we're called. The first thing we're called to do is love God with all our heart, body, soul, and mind. Right. Second thing we're
exactly.
called to do is love your neighbor as you would love yourself. Now, unconditional love is
Right.
hard to do nowadays because people let their fears get in the way, or they let their prejudices get in the way, and just a lot of stuff get in the
Correct.
way. But
Yeah.
um, if you understand what unconditional love is, first of all, if you know Jesus Christ, you should know what unconditional love is. First and
Because
foremost.
he showers me with unconditional love all the time.
Exactly.
So
You're still breathing, right? Unconditional love.
absolutely,
I'll back.
100%.
I'll back. So if you take that and you apply it to your life and the way you look at things, your mindset will
Right.
change. And when that
Yeah.
changes, it opens doors and opens revenues of things that you didn't see or hear before. You'll see somebody in pain without recognizing it. You know what I'm saying? You'll hear certain things. And that's what unconditional love is. You know what I'm saying? Putting
Yeah.
yourself out there, trying to help somebody, even though they don't want it, but you know they need it, but not pushing. You know what I'm saying? That's why I
Yeah.
love being a Christian because it's all about helping each other be their better selves whether they know
Correct.
God or not. I'm not here to judge that. That's not what I. We're not called to make sure everybody knows God. We're called to love unconditionally. That comes after.
Correct.
We're here to plant seeds, not water them.
Correct. This is good stuff, bro. Good stuff. That's what it's all
So
about at the end of the day. You
yeah,
know,
at the end of the day,
uh,
when you lay your head down, it's not about oh man, I saved 20 people because you're not gonna
I
be
didn't save
judged
nobody.
on how many people you saved. You're gonna be judged on how you live.
Correct. You preaching, brother. It's
So
good stuff, man. I love that. I love that you understand it's a doing thing, and the talking is cool, but a lot of times we get caught up in talking
yeah, and
instead
not
of
doing.
just doing it. Just
Yeah,
doing it.
yeah.
Yeah, just doing it.
But
Yeah,
let
man.
me go ahead and drive home and
Man, you have a good evening. It was great talking with you. And don't be a stranger. Come on
no,
here when you can. And we're gonna talk because I'm gonna be promoting this thing as much as I can
I am
till
too.
March the 18th. So I will be trying to do streams when I can. Of course, I have to go work and all these other things.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a family.
Life
I
still
have a fam.
happens.
Yeah, man. I got a family meeting right now. I'm running about, I think, about 15 minutes late, but I'm gonna get
Oh
on it.
man, get. But yeah, we gonna watch the movie. When the movie comes out, hopefully I get to talk to you before then. If you go on streaming, I'll hit you up. Or whatever.
I'll try
I
and do another
message you.
stream tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll try and do another stream uh somewhere in the evening time because in the morning time I'm working. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I work in the morning too, 7 to 3. So I understand that.
yeah.
Yeah, no, man. If I see you on, man, my notifications on. See that you're on. I say what's up, whatever. We can have another chat. You know what I'm saying? I like
What's
this.
your name? Atlas 32. What's your name?
James.
James. All right, I'm Anson.
All
So
right,
it's nice to
Anson.
meet you, James.
Yeah, yes, sir,
Yeah, man.
man.
I'm
Yes,
catch.
sir.
We'll hook up again.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
right,
definitely.
everybody, we're out of here. This is Christ I Am Disciple speaking to Atlas 32, and we're wishing you the best. If you want everybody to know where you're found at online, you could let them know, or if not, it's okay.
Yeah, I don't do all that, man. I'm
Okay,
just
that's
a guy.
cool. So we are out of here, but Zack Snyder's Justice League is about it's close to 18 days away. It's about 19 days
Yeah.
away.
Yep. We at the end of
So I
February.
can't wait for it. I'm gonna catch you guys later. I'm out. Peace.
All right. Peace.